Hey guys, Ben here from KCT, home of the gun and gear reviews you can use. And I wanted to do a quick video here about setback iron sights on your AR. Now, full disclosure, it's very hot in here. I have my wonderful beverage. I may have to stop to get some of that. I have a fan running, so we're just finally getting into summer here and paying the price for not having air conditioning. So, anyways, the interesting thing about backup iron sights is you can really kind of do a lot of things with them. I mean, people even have them, mounted at a 45-degree angle, all that good stuff. One thing though I see with people is they seem to freak out when you have a front iron sight, especially that is to the rear of anything other than the front end of the gun. So that's always kind of weird to me because some people don't even want irons on their gun. I understand that you want the longest sight radius that you can get, but if you're okay with the sight radius on, let's say, a handgun, you can probably be okay with this too. So this is just a real short gun. It's a 6.5 inch V7 weapon system, 300 blackout barrel, and just a Strike Industries Megafins rail 7-inch over that, so that we have the Helios muzzle device underneath there, so that we can actually get that blast directed out the front and not out, breaking the rest of the gun. So with that, I wanted to make sure that I still had the ability to have a light on the gun, but I wanted everything to be centerline mounted. I have another upper that I use in this system that's a 5.56, and it's the same thing where everything is mounted on the center. And it doesn't become that big of a deal unless you're trying to store it or carry it somewhere, and you have like a light mount kind of hanging off the side. And also the fact that generally, if you're at close enough range, if you can light it, you can sight it. Sort of the old principle there. Obviously, make sure you know what you're shooting at. But yeah, I just like the streamlined nature of it, and it feels wonderful. Grips well in the hand, and obviously I can't do that with a traditional red or iron sight setup. Obviously the forward of my red dot there, but I can't do anything with that with the tack light. Another thing too is that this also removes a layer of extra stuff. So in this case, if I was going to mount this to the side or one of the M-LOK slots, then I'd have to go get an M-LOK rail and attach it. Where in this case, if I keep it right on the existing rail on the top of the handguard, I really don't have to go out and buy anything. I don't have to worry about anything coming loose or falling apart. So anyways, I mean, being able to just go ahead and pop those up and use those effectively. People complain about the sight radius on something like this, but then they're fine with something like the AK, which doesn't have a super long sight radius thanks to how the gun was designed. And the modularity of the AR platform allows you to do all sorts of stuff like this. And the first time people see something, they may not really understand what they're seeing or why you're doing it. I see people get yelled at for, on forums and stuff. And first of all, guys, this is the internet. It's just the internet, guys. Nothing can be done about that. There's always going to be somebody who's got some problem with something that you're doing. Please yourself. You can't please anyone else. But anyways, something like this, I don't really see as a disadvantage because number one, primarily we're using the red dot for my sighting. And number two, I mean, this is the sight radius is still almost the entire length of the receiver. So I'm pretty okay with that. But yeah, I see a lot of people, having to add all this extra stuff, this complexity at the front end of the rifle. Now, don't get me wrong, I do have guns set up like that, but you're adding, an M-LOK or a key mod piece or whatever. In a second, we're going to take a look at a Midwest Industries rail. You're adding some complexity. You're adding something that can fall off. You're making the profile of the gun less sleek because now you're coming off the side. Where in this case, even the sights, when they're up, they're still below the top of the red dot. So as long as I can get the red dot into whatever bag or something that I'm putting it in, I'm pretty confident the rest of the weapon system will go in there as well. So just something to think about if you're making a short gun. You don't have to make it longer with the sight radius. You don't have to put your light or whatever on the side or like quarter mount or anything like that. It works out pretty well just like that. If you're willing to give up maybe 3 inches worth of sight, I think it works pretty good, especially for a gun this short. So what about a longer gun, you say? Or maybe you don't. Either way, the try not to break everything on the table here. If we look at something like this, where this is a 16-inch rifle, and in this case we have the light on the top there. So when I made this gun, it was sort of a spare parts build. With everything going on right now, with everybody being quarantined and stuck at home, I wanted to build something because I love building ARs, and I had an old Midwest Industries Gen 2 SS rail. It's a 15-inch rail, so pretty long one. And so I put it together, and I couldn't find any more rail sections. And being that this is a proprietary attachment system, you have to have their rail sections and their screws that are going to go in there. So what is the person to do? Well, I went ahead and got another one of these VTAC mounts, and these guys are one of my favorite light mounts. This is the second one I've had. The first one I've had for 8 years, maybe even more. Beautiful. Has never had any problems with it. So I wanted to go ahead and mount that, but obviously if I mounted it behind the iron sight, the tack light is going to be back here somewhere, and maybe not as optimal as we would like. So what I ended up doing is, of course, just mounting it right to the front there, and then mounting the iron sight further back. Now, when people say, okay, well, why are you doing this? Why are your iron sights out front where they belong? My thought is on this is a 15-inch rail. If you look at like a regular carbine, your 7-inch, car handguard, and then your front sight after that. So just say maybe 8 inches from the receiver. If you're okay with 8 inches out, are you okay with like 12? Asking for a friend. So for something like this, yeah, I'm not worried about it because yes, I'm not getting all the way out there to a 15-inch sight radius. But if you are okay with a mid-length or a carbine sight radius on your gun, or any rifle that you might use, I would argue that this is still more sight radius than you're probably going to get with one of those setups. I do have my own little M forgery here, and it is, yeah, I mean, there's no question how much longer that this is than that one. So again, the AR is so modular, you can do all sorts of great stuff with it. I don't think that there's really a right or a wrong way to do a lot of things. Yes, there are some ways that I look at even and say, okay, that looks a little bit weird if you have like a backup iron sight that's backwards. I recently saw somebody with a carry handle backwards on their upper. That was different. But as long as it's within reason, yeah, I really don't see a problem with it. I mean, now you're starting to see guys run stuff like that because you'll have like those devals or something where you're running like a mall or something like that. They'll have kind of a control cluster up front with a lot of stuff going on. Well, if you're running an iron sight, and realistically, you probably should on a gun that you consider defending yourself with, they're having to set it further back. So, anyways, guys, this isn't me harping on everybody doing things with their gun differently than I do. It's just me kind of coming out there and saying, hey, if you guys are building a gun, think about this. You have a lot of real estate with a longer rail like this, and you don't necessarily have to put that on there. For example, with this, for me at least, when I'm shouldering that, I mean, that is exactly where I need it to be. Now, if I put it on the side, now it's going to be mounted up, and then of course I have to find another rail section for it. It's right next to the muzzle. Chances are that I could work loose over time. Obviously, Loctite is your friend, but yeah, I just really like the way that this came out, and again, it just feels perfect in my hand. It's the setup that I want, and of course, everything still folds, nice and compact for what it is, which is a 16-inch rifle. But yeah, anyways, so I'll go ahead and wrap it up here, and I just wanted to show you guys some stuff that I have going on with the guns, maybe kind of spark some interest there. If you guys have any questions, or if it's something you guys have of your own, definitely check this out. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I put our Instagram and Facebook and everything in the pinned comment, so you guys can check us out there. We are about to hit a milestone on Instagram, so if you are on the gram, come check us out. You'll see that. Give us a like, give us a follow. Really helps out knowing what people want and what they want to see in the videos and everything else like that. Before I go, I want to say one more thing. When I got into working with guns and working with the firearms industry, there there are a lot of people that wanted to do things only if you did something for them. If you paid them, if you, um, gave them a good review of a bad product, whatever. And it really shocked me that once I got here, that nobody was just saying, "Hey, I like these guys. Um, I want to support them. I want to do something that helps them, or maybe just puts them on the radar for people." Um, so for me, one of the people that I wanted to bring up here is just Circle 10 AK. And Luke Williams is the owner there. They've had a pretty big move from the occupied state of Illinois to Wisconsin, I believe. And he's done a lot for me personally. Sorry, I'm sweating. He's done a lot for me personally. He's done a lot of things for people in general. And he's a solid guy, a quality guy, a stand-up guy. So circle10ak.com. Go check him out. Go say, "Hey, Ben sent you," or not. But definitely go see what's going on with those guys. They definitely have a lot of good stuff going on. I know that he's, with the troubling times that we are in, he's going through inventory pretty quick. So if you see something that's not on the site, give him a call. He answers pretty quick and can generally help you out, hook you up with whatever you need, especially for hard to find AK stuff. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And yeah, other than that, make sure you put like, comment, share, love all that stuff. Make sure to give us a follow. And yeah, I'll catch you next one. Stay accurate.